Good evening, Merry Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the December 19th, 2017 regular meeting of the Burke County Board of Commissioners. We're delighted you're here, and tonight Reverend Gwendolyn Benjamin, guest at Chapel Aid Church, was scheduled to be with us and lead an invocation, but I don't see her. So I'm going to ask Mike Long if he doesn't mind to come to the podium, Mike, and lead our invocation, and then he's going to continue on in his role as the chief of the Patton High School Fire Academy, and we got folks from the academy to come and lead us in that pledge. So let's stand together.
Let's pray. Our kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day. We thank you, Lord, for giving us the opportunity to come together, oh Lord, as friends and fellowship before the meeting, oh Lord. We just ask, oh Lord, now that you just be with the county commissioners, that decisions they make, oh Lord, is in the best interest of the citizens of our county. Just lead, guide, and direct them in everything that they do. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mike.
Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, guys. If you'll just remain right here, we want to come down and get a picture with you. Place this way. Happy you guys. All right, let's give these guys a little. All right. And again, Mike, we appreciate you guys being here. You got a word for us?
I do have a few words for you. First of all, I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to come before you tonight. I'm on a different side tonight, I guess, than when I used to come and ask for money all the time when I was an employee of the county. And one other comment before I get started. Evidently, you've moved the thermostat where Kay can't touch it because you got it nice and cool in here tonight. So I know she's usually in charge of the heat. But again, we appreciate the opportunity to come before the county commissioners and lead the pledge. I have 34 students this semester in Firefighter 1 and 2 classes. We're winding down. We're on our last subject matter for the semester, and then we'll start reviewing for the final exam, which will be coming up in the middle of January. And then starting next semester, I have about 45 in Firefighter 1, 2, and 3 classes. The program is going well. Triple Community Fire Department has donated us a fire truck. We call it a mobile lab, where we can get out and do stuff out in the field. We're very fortunate, a little better than Drone is we're close enough to the Emergency Services Training Center that y'all helped graciously build for Western Piedmont, that we can be there within 10 to 12 minutes from the school. So we get to go there and do a lot of our practical exercise, crawling around in the entanglement box. We went yesterday, majority of them did, and we burnt propane yesterday and extinguished with fire extinguishers. Some of them were just talking about how it got hot yesterday. But again, that gives them some experience in knowing what's going on with the program. We've been very fortunate that last year we had a student that went through all 3 semesters of Firefighter 1, 2, and 3, and was hired at the City of Morton in October. So that really helped our program, that he went in as 2 classes short of being a certified firefighter. He went last summer and got those 2 classes in McDowell County over the summer. So he went in as a certified firefighter. So that's a selling point for our program, that we have an 18-year-old that has graduated from high school and went directly into the work field as a certified firefighter for the City of Morton. So that was a plus for us. And we've got several. It's in the junior firefighters programs in the volunteer fire departments, and that's our goal, is to help support those, because as you know, it's getting tougher and tougher for the volunteer firemen to get volunteers. So if these kids stay here or students stay here, into Burke County. We hope they become volunteer firemen and support their communities. Again, thank you for giving us the opportunity to come, and we look forward to doing it again.
All right, thank you very much, Mike, and again, thank you guys for being here tonight.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. And let me remind you, as you have roles to speak tonight, please either come to the table in front of us or to the podium, and be sure to turn on the microphone. And I'll remind the commissioners as well, when you speak tonight, please be sure to turn on your microphone so that everybody can hear you here and on the internet as well. Remind you at this time to silence your mobile devices, and I think that's my reminder also. All right, gentlemen, this brings us to item number 4, and Madam Clerk will note that all commissioners are present tonight, along with the county manager, county attorney, and yourself. At this time brings us to item 4, approval of meeting minutes. We have minutes from the October 17th, 2017 regular meeting and the November 7th, 2017 pre-agenda meeting. I would entertain a motion at this time to approve those minutes.
Mr. Chairman, if there's not any deletions or mistakes in the minutes, I make a motion to approve the minutes as printed.
Okay, thank you, Wayne. Any questions on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. I believe that's all of us, Madam Clerk. Item 5 is organization of the board. It is the time of year when the board elects its leadership for the coming year. So at this time, I will turn the election over to our county manager, Brian Steen.
Thank you. At this time, gentlemen, I'll go ahead and open the floor for nominations for the position of Burke County Board of Commissioners Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Maynard Taylor for chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Jeff Britton.
Are there any other nominations? Being none, we'll go ahead and close this and go to vote. Wayne has nominated Maynard as chairman. All those in favor, vote aye. All those noes? 3 noes. All those who are in favor of Jeff being chairman, vote aye. And no. Appears the board has elected you, sir, as chairman.
All right, thank you, Mr. Manager. Gentlemen, I do appreciate your vote, and I hope to provide able leadership through the coming year, and I appreciate the cooperation from everyone on this board. At this time, we'll hear nominations for our vice chair. I'll open the floor for nominations.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Wayne Aisley.
Thank you, Maynard. Any other nominations for vice chair?
Mr. Chair, I nominate Johnny Carswell.
Thank you, Scott. Any other nominations? Hearing none, I'll close the nominations. We'll vote in the order that they were received. Those in favor of Commissioner Abley for vice chair, please signify by the uplifted hand. Madam Clerk, that's 2 in favor. Those in favor of Commissioner Carswell as vice chair, please signify by the uplifted hand. Madam Clerk, that is 3. All right, Commissioner Carswell, you are elected as vice chair. Any comment, please, sir?
Not at this time, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, this brings us to election of our county attorney. This time I would open the floor for nominations for county attorney.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate J.R. Simpson.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Reddy Deal.
Any other nominations for county attorney?
Mr. Chairman, not a nomination, nothing against JR, but I think at some point this board needs to look at lowest bid. It makes it a healthy board, and makes it competitive, but I don't recommend that at this time. Just would like to have some discussion sometime on that.
All right, thank you, Maynard. Any other nominations for county attorney? Hearing none, we'll accept the votes in that order. Those in favor of selecting J.R. Simpson as our county attorney, please signify by the uplifted hand. That'll be 4, and those in favor of Redmond Deal, please signify by the uplifted hand. That'll be 1. All right. J.R. is selected then as our county attorney. Any comments, Mr. Attorney?
I just thank you for your trust, and I promise to do my best.
All right, thank you, J.R. All right, this brings us to number 4, Board of Commissioners appointment of county tax attorney for 2018. And I will open the floor at this time for the nominations.
Mr. Chair, I move to nominate J.R. Simpson.
Thank you, Scott. Any other nominations for county tax attorney? Hearing none, I'll close the nominations. Those in favor of selecting J.R. Simpson as our county tax attorney, please signify by the uplifted hand. Madam Clerk, that is 5-0. Again, I'll give you the opportunity for any comment.
Just as I said the last time, I thank you for your trust, and I will do my best in the upcoming year.
All right, thank you, J.R. Brings us to item 5, appointment of clerk to the board. And I'll open the floor at this time for nominations to serve the board as our clerk.
Mr. Chairman, it's with great pleasure and honor that I nominate Kay Honeycutt Drone, the best clerk in the state of North Carolina, to continue in that role in Burke County.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Carswell. Any other nominations for our clerk? Hearing none, I'll entertain the votes this time. All those in favor of selecting Kay Honeycutt Drone as our clerk for the coming year, please signify by the uplifted hand. And Madam Clerk, that will be 5-0. Any comments, Madam Clerk?
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate the support, and as always, I will do my very best.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, gentlemen, this brings us to approval of our agenda tonight. Gentlemen, as you received the agenda, you noticed several revisions. You notice there's several revisions in the consent items. Item number 1 made a few changes to commission appointments, the adoption of rules after our discussion during pre-agenda. Those changes were noted and made. Also, some changes to the resolution concerning opioid abatement, and also changes to the removal and reappointment to the adult care and nursing home. And also we did have some discussion during pre-agenda about the change orders for the school construction, and that 4th order that we mentioned at that time was added. So with those revisions, I would entertain a motion to accept the agenda as it was provided.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion that we take the resolution concerning the opioid statement and the contract and put it under decision. I have several questions on that item.
All right. Gentlemen, you've heard the request to move item number 3, the resolution concerning opioid abatement and approval of authority to represent, from the consent agenda to decision item. Those in favor of that motion, please signify by the uplifted hand. Those opposed?
Question,
Yes.
point of order.
Yes.
You can't deny it.
Can you advise on that?
There's no way, your rules do not allow to deny, to move something off of agenda, consent to discussion.
I think a vote does deny that. The board's already had a vote at this pre-agenda meeting that these items would be included.
Mr. Attorney, would it be in order for me to change my vote and we'll hear the item in decision and carry on without further delay?
Well, that's the chair's choice, but under Rule 9, once the agenda is issued, it says that the board may, by majority vote, add an item, and that's what you would be doing. You would be taking an item off of the consent agenda and adding an item to the decision agenda. But that's the chair's choice.
Okay, I think without further ado, then we'll leave the vote as is. We'll move on with the item as it has already been discussed. So we'll carry on then. Thank you, Mr. Attorney, for your advice. We have no presentations tonight. Item number 7, we do come to item number 8 at this time, scheduled public hearing. This is Finance Jail Financing Public Hearing. This matter will be presented by Paul Imes, our Deputy County Manager, Finance Director. Mr. Imes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a part of the financing process, the board is required to hold a public hearing on the construction and financing of the proposed new jail facility. The jail will be mortgaged to serve as collateral for the installment purchase financing. At the November meeting, the board set tonight as the date and time to hold that required hearing.
All right, thank you, Paul. At this time, in accordance with our previous action, I will open the public hearing. Is there anyone here tonight to speak on this matter? Hearing no one present, seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing at this time. Thank you very much. And there's no further action needed on this. This brings us to item number 9, informal public comments. Madam Clerk, do we have any comments tonight?
Yes, sir. We have one speaker who has signed up tonight, Mr. George Abernathy, and he has provided some information for you all as well as a petition, and I'll pass those down now.
All right, thank you. Mr. Abernathy, please come to the podium and state your name and address.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is George Abernathy, 8120 Old Highway 10, Hickory, but I do live in Hellebrand. I've come to you this evening as this petition is passed out. You're going to, it's about the sale of alcohol on Sunday at 10 a.m. As this petition states, if anyone desires or feel that they have the need of alcohol at 10 a.m., they probably already have an addiction. Which is no different than any other addiction. Here, just previously, you've had some meetings been discussed about, presented with information on the lawsuit against drug companies for the problems caused by the abuse of prescription medicine. Using alcohol or drugs in any form brings destruction to the fundamental basis of what makes this nation and our society function as a working unit. This working unit is a family. When the family crumbles, so does our society. There is no hope. I have personally, and I'm sure as y'all read the paper and look at the news, you have read stories about accidents, lives have been lost, homes have been destroyed, physical and mental abuse that occurs because of the use of alcohol. The innocent and the helpless are the ones who suffer. They go without their basic needs. They go hungry because of this problem. The problem does not stop there. Alcohol does not only affect the person that consumes the alcohol, in fact, it affects the family and our society as a whole. It can cause financial problems for the consumer, their family, and their society. By voting on this, you're saying that alcohol brings economic growth and development. What really has been voted on is economic destruction through the abuse and neglect and destruction of homes and life. People that are addicted sometimes use money that their family needs to buy alcohol. Other examples are being given by the children in our school systems who have to take food home on the weekends through the backpack programs. Other examples, our school systems are having to serve free breakfast to some children who have, so they will be able to have breakfast. When children don't receive love and attention and necessary food and supplies that the parents provide because the parents are addicted to alcohol and their money is given to alcohol, the children are the ones who suffer the most. Also, children see this is a normal lifestyle, and they tend to repeat this when they become adults and have children of their own. In your decision to vote for this bill, did you really consider what the real cost was? It's just not about the money. It's more important, it's about the destruction of a home and their families and their lives. They appreciate your time and the opportunity to do this, but as you see these petitions come in front of you, in 3 days, there was 562 votes, if that was counted right, came about saying, asking y'all to vote no to it. I know it's not been voted on and other things, but there's a reasons there that people don't want it. You just look at the news, it's there. It don't go away. And there's also some other facts in there that you'll be passing. Every 50 minutes somebody dies from alcohol. Every 2 minutes somebody's injured from alcohol. Every adult in America pays over $500 a year just because of alcohol use, and that's a 2011 statistics. You're not going to gain by allowing more alcohol. You'll only lose, because it is a financial destruction of everything. I do appreciate your time. Y'all have a good Christmas.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abernathy. Any other speakers tonight?
That's all the cards I have.
All right, thank you very much. This brings us to our consent agenda. I'll ask our county manager to review that with us at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the board, you have a 17-item consent agenda. The first is Board of Commissioners 2018 Commission appointments. Item 2, Board of Commissioners adoption of rules and procedures for 2018. Item 3, Board of Commissioners resolution concerning opioid abatement and approval of authority to represent. Item 4, Burke County Public Schools school construction change orders numbers 1 through 4. Item 5, Burke County Emergency Communications Memorandum of Agreement regarding 911 failure. Item 6, clerk removal and reappointment to the Adult Care and Nursing Home, CACC. Item 7, clerk reappointments to the Board of ENR. Item 8, clerk Board of Health appointment and reappointments. Item 9, clerk appointment to JCPC. Item 10, clerk resolution establishing Burke County Board of Commissioners 2018 meeting schedule. Item 11, clerk appointments to the Parks and Recreation Commission. Item 12, clerk reappointments to the Rutherford College PB and BOA, ETJ. Item 13, Health Department birth control and immunization fee schedule changes for fiscal year 2018. Item 14, Register of Deeds, approval of expedited mail service fees. Item 15, Sheriff, resolution regarding ABC designation of official to make recommendations to the North Carolina ABC Commission on ABC permit applications. Item 16, Tax Department release refund report for November 2017. And item 17, Tax Department tax collection report for November 2017. That concludes your consent agenda.
All right, thank you, Brian. Gentlemen, you've heard the consent agenda is read by our county manager. I'll entertain a motion to approve it at this time.
I'll move, Mr. Chairman.
Those in favor signify by the uplifted hand. Those opposed? Madam Clerk, that'll be 4-1. Thank you. This brings us to items 11, items for decision. First item on the decision agenda is the ordinance to allow the sale of alcoholic beverage before noon on Sundays at licensed premises. And gentlemen, as you recall, in November, our citizens voted to allow the sale of alcohol in Burke County. And it was noted that a number of municipalities have also adopted ordinances that would allow the sale of alcohol prior to 12 noon on Sunday. Glen Alpine, Valdez, and Morganton have adopted similar ordinances in August, September, and October. And it appears Connelly Springs has this on its December 4th agenda. I have not heard. Is that approved, Madam Clerk?
I'm not aware that it wasn't.
Okay. All right. So gentlemen, here's the information. You've had a resolution. I'll entertain any questions at this time.
Mr. Chairman, could we ask George, how many signatures did you get?
I counted right, it's 562. But
562.
that's on Wednesday to Sunday too, so it's only about 3 or 4 days.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I stated before that we're in Henson, the Devil's Playground, and that, sorry. As I stated before, turn the red light on there. We're enabling the devil's work, and I wouldn't support this, but it's just, we continue. I think Buford Cherry told us $193 billion tax dollars goes to alcoholic abuse, and I feel like we just, we're burying ourselves, so to speak. So, but that's my comments on it.
Mr. Chairman, I'm like the gentleman out there. I really don't like it, but it comes down to, for me, a fairness issue that the municipalities already have adopted this, and I don't think it's fair to our clubs. There's probably not a whole lot of places in the county that are going to ask for this, but there are a few, and I just think it's a fairness issue. I don't like it personally. I don't like it. I don't understand, but again, it's if the municipalities are going to go ahead and go for it, I think we got to be fair to our merchants in the county.
Other comments on this matter? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion at this time.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt ordinance number 2017-18.
All right, gentlemen, you've heard the motion by Commissioner Mulvey. All those in favor of adopting ordinance 2017-18, please signify by the uplifted hand. Those opposed? Madam Clerk, that would be 3-2. This brings us to item 2 on our decision agenda, General Services, award of construction bid for emergency management storage building. This will be presented by Miles Champion. Miles?
You have to bear with me, I'm losing my voice from bronchitis. Burke County is proposing to construct a 9,600 square foot prefabricated metal building at the Johns River Waste Management Facility to store emergency management equipment in. The storage facility was formerly located at the site of the new Burke County Jail. The site has been rough graded and is located immediately beyond the scale house. The project was advertised on November 3rd. Bid packets were received. We received 6 on November 15th. Bids were rejected because of pricing and re-advertised on November 30th. Informal bids were received again on December 14th. The contractor will be selected based on lowest lump sum price. Consideration will be given to contractor's estimated project delivery time. Construction is anticipated to start December of this year. Staff recommends award the contract at their regular meeting. We have the budget was $250,000. We have spent some of that in site preparation. The staff recommends that we contract with the contractor for items 1 and 2 only, an amount of $249,267. That's with Building Systems of Catawba County. With those 2 items, we are still in need of another $14,300 in order to balance that. Any questions?
All right, thank you, Miles. Gentlemen, you received this information. It's printed in front of you. It was also available to you earlier via email. Any questions for Miles on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, looking at those bids, and what happened to it, it disappeared. But it's alarming. I couldn't believe seeding and strawing, you got a high bid of $20,997, low bid of $2,100. I mean, it's just, and I fine grading, you've got a low of 31 to a high of 49,000. I'm just shocked. And the reason I point that out more than anything else is that's the reason that sometimes we need to take bids for the services and for programs that we do. It's the only way you get that kind of disclosure is to put it on public bid. Appreciate your hard work on that.
Thanks, sir.
So we're going to be within budget except that $14,000.
That's, the decision needs to be made. We need an additional $14,000 to get the building under roof.
Thank you, that's all I had.
Other questions for Miles on this segment? Miles, what's the plan for this other work that we're not going to accept at this time?
We don't have the, we don't know at this moment. We'll have to figure that out.
Okay.
We may be able to do that under other contracts or in-house or something. So,
Some of that work, is it possible that our own folks could do some of that work?
possibly, we'll just have to look at it and see what our availability is on that.
All right, with no further questions or discussions, I'll entertain a motion on this item.
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion that we accept the bid as presented. If I can get back to that page already. To award a contract to Building Systems of Catawba County in the amount of $249,267. Option 1 and 2 for construction of a 9,600 square foot prefabricated metal building at the John Rivers Waste Management Facility and appropriate $14,300 in general fund balance.
All right, thank you, Maynard. You've heard the motion. Gentlemen, those in favor, please signify by the uplifted hand. Madam Clerk, that's 5-0. Okay, this brings us to item 3 on the decision agenda. General Services request for quotes for engineering services for the Eckerd Creek Pump Station improvements. And again, we'll hear from Miles Champion.
Program guidelines require Burke County to request proposals for qualifications for selection of engineering services for your Clean Water State Revolving Loan Fund. Burke County will receive proposals, or did receive proposals until 2 o'clock November 28th, at which we received 4. And the review committee analyzed those 4 firms and scored them. The team was Scott Carpenter and myself. We determined that the most qualified firm was West Consultants. We recommend that they be chosen as the most qualified consultant. And also, if we cannot negotiate a contract, then authorize the manager to proceed on with another consultant.
All right, thank you, Miles. Gentlemen, any questions for Miles on this matter? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion at this time.
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the committee's recommendation and authorize the county manager to negotiate and execute the contract with West Consultants. Further, if an agreement cannot be reached with West Consultants, the manager is authorized to negotiate and execute a contract with the second and third ranked firms.
All right, thank you, Scott. Gentlemen, you've heard the motion with Commissioner Mulvey. All those in favor, please signify by the uplifted hand. Madam Clerk, that's 5-0. All right, this brings us to our item 12, reports and comments tonight. let me remind you that county offices will be closed December 25th through the 27th for Christmas and January the 1st for New Year's Day. We are planning a EMS Base 6 grand opening on January the 10th at 6248 Miller Bridge Road in Conley Springs, and we would invite you all, as well as many of our other citizens, to be with us on that date to celebrate a new EMS station here in our county. And our next meeting, of course, is the pre-agenda meeting on January the 2nd, 2018 at 3 o'clock. And with that, I'll recognize County Attorney to make any reports or comments that he might have.
No comments except to thank the board for their trust in reappointing me for another year, and wish you all a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, J.R. Wayne?
Scott and I went to a tourism meeting today, and I think the last month the occupancy tax just blew us out. I mean, even though the Hampton Inn is down, the other motels did really well, and it's probably the best month we ever had. So it was really positive. Well, again, I wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Wayne. Maynard?
Things I was involved with this month, mental health did not meet for December. I do plan their Christmas event for staff and employees on December 21st. Western Piedmont Clean Air and Water met on 12/5/17. A quorum was acknowledged. Reports and numbers on air quality were received and continue to do well. Good discussion on how the monitors work and collect the data on PM 2.5 monitors. Discuss timetable for next year's annual convention, and we set dates and times for meetings for next year. Greater Hickory Transportation Committee met on 12/15. A quorum was acknowledged. The Volkswagen settlement will give North Carolina $92,045,658. Discussion followed on how the money could be spent. The timetable for the program will be over a 10-year period. Reviewed the Unified Plan Working Program for Public Transportation Division. Discussed the data, timetable, and priorities. I missed the State Agriculture meeting on 11/30 due to a scheduling conflict. Under others, the scheduling conflict, and I put 20, that's really 11:30. I participated in a joint meeting with Catawba County, Burke County Health and Mental Health to discuss integrated health care benefits and savings. Burke provided free lunch. Johnny and Brian was at that meeting too. The meeting was very beneficial. Attended the Christmas and participated in the Christmas parade for Morganton on 12/14. Attended the Burke County Staff Employee Christmas Luncheon on 2/15, and we participated in the Rutherford College Christmas Parade on 12/16. And I sincerely wish all my fellow commissioners, their better halves, county staff, county employees, and all Burke County citizens a safe and healthy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question? Are we involved in that Cardinal thing, Maynard, with the mental health? We're out of that?
No, we're not.
Good, thank you.
I hope we don't get involved. They may assign it to us.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Maynard. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I've got a recap for you of current projects underway. If you'll go ahead and start, Steve.
Here in our county. Commissioner Carswell?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I typically don't do what I'm going to do right now, but I'm going to go ahead and do it since I heard some whispers about maybe some lies tonight. So I want to explain my vote. When the alcohol referendum came up, I voted no against alcohol. I didn't want it. There's probably only one of us sitting up here on this board that's buried his child because of alcoholism and has to see his wife cry out every night for the loss of a son, just like those two behind you back there lost their son 3 weeks ago. I sat on as many boards as I can sit on, along with the sheriff, Burke Substance Abuse Network, to do everything I can through my church and through this county to eradicate alcohol. But guess what? It ain't going nowhere. It's going to be here. And I have a fiduciary responsibility sitting on this board sometimes that I don't like to vote when I have to vote on some of these things, but it's the right thing to do because that's what I swore when I took my oath, that I'd evaluate everything coming in front of me and do what had to be done, not for me, not because we lost a son, not for some of these families, not for my church, not for the sheriff, not for anybody else out here, but you vote because that's what you have to do, because that's what the law tells you got to do sometimes. And I don't like it, but I do it. And you know what? I really feel good about being able to sit up here and do what's right, because it makes me sleep at night, you know? And I pray to God every time that we come in here, when I look at this agenda and do prayerful decisions. I don't agree with everything these guys, they certainly don't agree with me on some of these things. But you have to look at it, and you have to evaluate it, and you have to do what these people and they elected you to do. And if they don't like it, they'll unelect you. You know, that's the way it goes. But it's a hard decision that you have to make sometimes. But by God, we deserve a little bit of respect for trying to do what's right. And we don't get it. My own family gets on me. My own party gets on me because they want me to do the party thing. But you know, I'm going to do what God tells me to do. Yep. And that's what I'm going to do, you know. And I hope you respect. You can't make any comments, okay? These are mine. And, but that's my comments for tonight, Mr. Chairman. I don't need to go any further.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Scott?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Wayne stated earlier, we're at a tourism TDA meeting this morning, and he was talking about the numbers being up, and this year it looks like we're going to set a record. We're up 18%. We're actually within 32 visitors of hitting the 4,000 person mark at the visitor center this year, and so we should surpass that this week. And so a lot of good things going on in Burke County. So that's the only report I have. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and please be safe.
All right, thank you, Scott. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have any comments or reports, but I would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and congratulate everybody on their appointments.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. I again want to wish all of our commissioners and staff and all the citizens of our county a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I hope everyone has a blessed Christmas season. And again, it's a privilege for us to serve you as your commissioners. And at this time, we'll hear vacancy announcements, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the board, we have the following opportunities for citizens to be involved: the Hickory Regional Planning Commission, the Adult Care and Nursing Home Community Advisory Committee, the Council on Aging, Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, the City of Morganton Board of Adjustment, and Planning Board for the ETJ, the Voluntary Agriculture Board, the Burke County Board of Adjustment and Planning Board, Burke County Parks and Recreation Commission, the Western Piedmont Regional Transit Authority Transportation Advisory Board, Partners Behavioral Health Management, the Animal Advisory Board, the Board of Health, and Region E Development Corporation.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. Gentlemen, we have no need for a closed session tonight, and with that, we reach the end of our agenda, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I make that motion, but we do need to distribute some gifts, so don't everybody run out the door, okay?
Okay, so thank you very much. With that, I'll entertain a vote at this time. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. I believe that's all of us. Thank you very much. Again, thank you all for being here tonight.